Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bunker Labs All In series. Today we're here with Chris McPhee from I Am Your Camera Guy. So I want to turn it over right away. So you've got another fellow entrepreneur who's in the fight with you, who's also been there before and done some really cool things. So Chris, if you could give us an introduction and what you're doing and how we can find you.
Hey, thank you for having me on. Definitely, I'm Chris McPhee. I'm your camera guy. My company is Green Beret Media. You can find me at greenberetmedia.com. And my new site that I'm developing right now is imyourcameraguy.com, and it's full with all kind of visual items there for you to see what I've been doing and the people that I'm working with, and some of the things I could produce to help small businesses and organizations promote, inform and inspire their audience to buy their product, service, or attend their special events.
Yeah, and that's great. So Green Beret Media and I Am Your Camera Guy. You can tell from your setup you're a professional. We're envious. So you'll need to give us all the specs of what you've got and put it into the feed so we can tell people how to get that set up. So you're coming to us from the DC metro area, so there's a lot going on. Love to hear what you're going to keep doing right now. What's sort of the steady state? Like, this is what I'm focused on as your primary effort.
So right now, what's interesting about what's happening right now and what I see everybody's doing, I was in Tampa last week, completing one of my objectives for the VIR was to shoot a conference. So Solvability is the company, and they had GovCon in Tampa, and they brought all these contracting assets in, government contracting and small businesses. And they brought them in, and as I was there, two clients called me. One was with NASCAR, which I was supposed to be in Homestead last weekend, and another one with a video shoot, and they canceled because of the virus. And I noticed, I was like, man, something's going on here. So I had to quickly recalibrate. And as everybody that's saying, if you're in media, if you have a small business, or if you're on social, or you were thinking about getting on social, or you were hesitant about it, that's what you should be doing right now. And that's what I'm doing is I'm going into content mode, photography. My prime product is the headshot. So I'm thinking about doing, just to stay sharp on my skills, is doing a headshot for the day. And I have my setup here. I could take a headshot of myself, which is how I perfected my skills and figured out what's the right lighting, what's the right settings on my camera, what's some good TTPs for me to take a headshot, what's a different setup with equipment. And so that's why we're on so-called lockdown and in our homes and quarantine. That's what I'm going to be doing. So that's what I suggest everybody should be doing, is just perfecting your skill, getting some knowledge, skilling up, doing an assessment of yourself and your business, and like, how can I create another product to still be in business during this time? And for me, it's hard because I shoot people, in a happy sense, in a happy sense. Not what I used to do as a Green Beret, but I'm doing it in a happy sense now. And I'm not able to do that because we're not gathering, if it's going to be a one-on-one video, it's going to be very precise of how we meet, where we meet, making sure we're staying clean and sanitary with our setup and our interaction. But overall, for photography, it's at a stop right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's an interesting point you bring up on just perfecting your craft, right? Like taking the time to get really great at it. There's a ton of like all these Ivy League schools put stuff out there. Like, everybody's putting stuff out there. We know people are at home right now. They've got the opportunity to do it. You shared a little bit about setting, like, getting your digital content on more, like getting online. Like, Mike Stedman from Ironbound Boxing just shared, a little bit, like he was a couple of months ago thinking about it, started to pull the trigger, and now is like all in on it. And I think, it's an opportunity to zoom out and perfect your craft. So what are you going to stop doing? So, what's different? Obviously a lot's different, but what's stop doing? What are some of the distractions that maybe you're not letting get to you anymore?
Well, for me, I'm always on the move. So really, my wife and my kid are here in the house with me, so we're developing a schedule for that.
Mhm.
But really, it's not that I'm gonna stop doing anything. I can't go out and shoot people, but I can, there's a lot of things I can do here that I've been putting off because I've been out in the open and connecting with people and trying to build a business and get clients. So it's not that I'm going to stop anything. I'm actually going to start up doing some things that I haven't been
Yeah.
doing, which is um, before I even became the camera guy, there's another avatar, the PMP Pocket Mentor, and I just started doing Facebook blogs. So I'm
Mhm.
actually tomorrow I will be starting back giving people the information, informing them, hey, while you're here, this is a great time to study up. So when you come out of this, I mean, you could get training online for your project management certification. I don't know what the testing settings are doing as far as letting people test, but um, actually I'm starting up things. I'm not really stopping nothing.
I love it. All right. Spoken like a true Green Beret. Um, so what's what are you calling the project management thing, and how can people find that?
So the project management item is for the professional project management professional certification through the Project Management Institute, and it's a certification that pretty much quantifies your ability to manage a project, move from point A to point B, plan it, advise it, manage it, find out the rights and wrongs, and present the deliverables. So on my Facebook page, Chris McPhee, PNP is what it is. I will be there, and also on my Green Beret Media fan page, you'll see videos there. But I probably go live on a personal page because that's where everybody's connected with me and to get the most visibility. So that'll be the best place to find me.
All right. We'll look for Chris McPhee on Facebook, Chris McPhee PNP and Green Beret Media. So that's one of the things you're going to start doing. What are some of the other things that you're going to start doing?
So last night I was actually up till like 3 a.m. making this collage of backdrops for
Well,
photos
you
because
look
I
great
wanted
for being up all night.
to. I had to shower and like get some coffee. I was like, I need to look decent for camera. The glasses are probably hiding my eyes a little red a little bit and some Visine drops, but I was up last night and I've been wanting to do this. Like, I need some different creative backdrops because not only do I do professional headshots, I do some photo shoots for artists, local artists here in the DMV. So sometimes they want something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more eye catching. So I say, hey, let me just make these backdrops. And I got some old GQ magazines, some of my old photography magazines, and it was like I was in elementary school making a photo collage, and I just started little by little, and then I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome." I'll post them later, but that's one thing I started last night, and I'm like, well, even with this wall back here, you see it; it's all white. Here in the next couple, I'm changing all that. I'm just making my space functional for this time is
Mhm.
what I'm working on is get my editing station intact, getting some more photo stuff intact. So it's set up real nice for when I go live on video so that like people are visually, they're entertained because we know that the statistics say, people's attention span is that less of a goldfish, which is about 12 seconds. And now we're about 6 to 8 seconds. So if you don't catch them in the first 10 seconds when you post something or when you put something online, you're going to lose them. There's so many distractions for them and so many options for them to go to. If your stuff is not engaging, if it's not appealing to the eye, you're going to lose them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, can you give us one resource or something, whether it's personal or professional, that you think people should check out or do while we're in this unique time here?
I would say for me and how I became what I am with photography, even though I was using cameras doing active duty, when we do surveillance and doing intel collection, but I think the best thing is just go to YouTube and Google and search what you want. Find you one or two people that you really resonate with and stay on that channel and learn from them, whether it be LinkedIn Learning, whether it be, what's another site, Masterclass or
Class. Yeah.
Udemy, any of those sites. But if you don't want to spend no money, just go to YouTube and like, you know what? I want to improve my studio so I could vlog more. And into thousands of videos. I have my favorites, Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon. I learned a lot from him doing photography. Daniel Schiffer is another YouTuber. So I like the YouTubers. That's where I get Peter Hurley, who's one of my inspirations for headshots. That's the guy I follow. So I watch all his videos, and that's how I'm trying to perfect my headshot to give that good expression, help people express themselves through imagery.
I love it. All right. I like that. Stay on the shadow, right? Like if you're gonna do it, stay on it. So last word, how can people help you? Where can they find you? So what's a specific ask that you have right now that this military connected community here that's all in to support each other is listening here? How can everybody help?
So number one, I would, my biggest ask is for everybody, go to LinkedIn is where I'm most active now, and connect with me so you can see what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with. So when we pass through this phase of our society, I can help you with whether it be photo, video, or figure out how I can help you collect content so you could produce and curate that content to promote your band. So I'm most active on LinkedIn. You can find me at Facebook, Facebook Chris McPhee, or if you just Google "I am your camera guy," you're gonna see this face and just click, and
It's a
you'll
beautiful
find
face.
me.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chris, and at Green Beret Media, and I am your camera guy for sharing
Yeah.
your story and
Thanks.
sharing your tips on the studio, talking about how you can stay on the shadow, and just perfecting your craft in this time. So we really appreciate having leaders like you sharing your story. And go ahead if you want to learn more, go to LinkedIn and go to Facebook and find Chris McPhee.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks a lot, brother.